This is lesson 2.9, solving inequalities. Take out your notes and title your paper 2.9, solving inequalities. All right, so you might want to push pause, jot down these notes, and then push play and I can talk about them. All right, solving inequalities have the exact same rules as solving equations, except there's a greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to instead of an equal sign. So you know when we draw the line down the equal sign, it's the exact same. You're just going to draw the line down the greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to sign. So, in addition to solving the inequality, you must also graph it. So you will have to draw some graphs for this. All right, so here's a couple examples. 4 plus s is less than 12. So when you get this first example, you're going to draw your line. And I want to get s by itself, so I'm going to minus 4 from both sides. So then I get s, I copy my sign, s is less than 12 minus 4, which is 8. S is less than 8. And then you draw a graph. I put 8 in the middle. I'm going to do a number on each side. Now I think, is it open or closed? Well, this one is going to be open, and it's going to be everything less than. So I draw my arrow to the left. All right, this next one, here's my inequality sign. So I'm going to draw my arrow down. I want to get q by itself, so I'm going to get rid of the 13. Well, this is a negative 13, so therefore I'm going to do positive 13 to both sides. So then I have negative 16 plus 13 is negative 3, and then I keep my sign greater than or equal to q. Now, this might mess you up a little bit, so if this messes you up, you can always flip it around so that q is on the left. So I like to put q. Now look, my sign is pointed towards q. So I have to point my sign towards q, and then it's negative 3. So q is less than or equal to negative 3. So I'm going to draw a graph. I'm going to have negative 3. And then I have a closed circle at negative 3. And it's everything less than. All those other negative numbers. All right, so try these 4 on your own, and then we will go over them. Okay, so for this first one, I am going to minus 3 from both sides. So I get m is greater than 3. I draw a graph. Does not have to be anything fancy. You can have just 3 numbers. I look and I say, okay, this is going to be an open circle at 3, and it's everything greater than. And that's all you really have to do. So you have 2 answers. You have a graph and you have an inequality. Okay, so this next one, I draw my line. I want t by itself, and this is an 8, so I'm going to minus 8 from both sides. So t is less than, I just copy my sign, 15 minus 8, which is 7. I'm going to draw my graph. So I have 7. I have an open circle at 7, and it's everything less than. Open circle at 7, and it's everything less than. So here's my 2 answers. All right, the next one. This is b minus 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I get b is less than or equal to 11. So I draw my graph. And I have a closed circle at 11. And it's everything less than. So I draw my arrow to the left. So there's my 2 answers. And the last problem, I'm going to add 13 to both sides. So t is greater than 29 plus 13, which is 42. So then I draw my graph. I have 42, 43, 41. And then I have an open circle, and I have everything greater than. And those are my two answers. All right, so here is another example. You don't have to copy this one down. You can copy the next one down. An airline lets you check up to 65 pounds of luggage. One suitcase weighs 37 pounds. How much can the another suitcase weigh? So first we're going to write an equation. So I can have 65 pounds of luggage. One suitcase is 37 plus the other one I don't know, and it has to be less than or equal to 65. Because I can show up to the airport and my luggage could equal 40 pounds and I could still go on. It has to be less than. That's why it's an inequality. So now I'm going to solve this inequality. I'm going to minus 37 from both sides, minus 37. So then I get x is less than or equal to 28. So I draw my graph. I have an open, or no, I have a closed circle at 28, and it is everything less. Because if I showed up with a 28 and a 37, they would still let me on the plane because it equaled 65 pounds. But if I showed up with a, let's say, what's way down here, 20? What if I showed up with a 20 and a 37? They're still going to let me on the plane. So that's why it includes everything down the number line. Every number down the number line. Okay, so suppose your computer's hard drive has a capacity of 6 gigabytes. The files you have stored on the hard drive occupy at least 1.67 gigabytes. How much storage space is left for other files? So, I already have 1.67, and I'm going to add it to x, and then that has to be less than or equal to 6, because my computer only has 6 gigabytes. I can't go over. I can go under, though. We all know that. You can save, 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 and then if you only have 3 gigabytes, you're still going to be able to use your computer. So I'm going to solve this. I'm going to minus 1.67 from both sides. So you probably can't do this right off the top of your head. You might be able to without a calculator. So you're going to have 6 minus 1.67. So that's 33. So it's 4.33. So 4.33 is my storage space. I can go up to that, or I could be less. If I had 3, that would be fine too. So I'm going to draw my graph. Now, you can do like this, 4.3, 4.4, and go up by 10s. That's totally fine. 4.33 is right about here. So I'm going to have a closed circle there, and it's going to be everything less than that. A closed circle and everything less. All right, that is it for your notes.